A month-long eco-mobility festival is set for Sandton next month. It's aimed at developing certain sections of the CBD into walkways and cycle-friendly areas. Now, there are growing concerns that the recent influx of companies into Sandton is bringing with it unbearable traffic congestion and a strain on services. Well, I went into Sandton this week to find out if the upcoming festival can make a difference. It's the richest square mile in Africa, and the biggest companies are splashing out millions to squeeze into a space here. It's hard to believe that Sandton was merely sandy horse trails and grassy estates just 50 years ago. But now, getting in and out of this buzzing business district is becoming more and more testing for motorists. Given the rate at which companies are flooding into Sandton and bringing in their tens of thousands of workers, it's no wonder that Johannesburg Mayor Parks Tau warned earlier this year that if something isn't done soon, traffic movement on these roads would come to a complete halt. And if you add to that a dysfunctional traffic light because of load shedding, then you could have some very unpleasant people at your dinner table. In fact, newcomers are streaming in at such a fast rate, the congestion on these roads will worsen.
At the moment, we have about 55,000 cars during peak time. And like I say, with all these new developments that's happening up, I think we're possibly estimating between another 30,000 to 40,000 cars coming into Sandton if we don't have a proper alternative option for people.
It's one of the reasons why Sandton will host the Eco-Mobility Festival next month. Essentially, it will involve the closing down of some streets in the Sandton city centre and turning them into walkways, encouraging walking, cycling and the use of public transport. So for a month, the southern part of West Street will see offerings in the shape of cycle rides, fun runs, pop-up parks, music and food festivals.
Definitely, it is a catalyst and has put Sandton in the forefront, in front of the city, to say, you know, we need this infrastructure for this node to happen. And I think it will open public dialogues, be it you as an employee in the space that you work, to your bigger corporates, to your developers, to tourism.
Economist Chris Hart is one of those who navigate their way into the centre of Sandton daily. He agrees with efforts to change behaviour to embrace eco-friendly modes of transport, but he's cautioned against any message that suggests the number of cars in Sandton will be cut.
So you can actually kill the CBD if you try and actually fight cars. They are part of the traffic solution. The minibus taxis are part of the solution. So one needs to start looking to actually find ways of accommodating it and make sure that the actual flow can be improved so that gridlock turns to crawl, for instance, rather than gridlock.
Beyond this festival, there are long-term plans to ease congestion, improvements in infrastructure and public transport.
South Africa does not have a proper transport infrastructure for what I call the middle class. It needs to be safe, reliable, efficient, clean, all of these things, and that might sound elitist, but if you don't make it that, people will use their cars. Okay, so if you want to get people out of their cars, the car train is a start, all right, but a lot more needs to be done.
Some say, above all, city officials must protect Sandton's rate space. Businesses expect their high municipal rate payments to the city to ultimately ease their business day, whether on the roads or services delivered. Devin Murrigan, SABC News, Sandton. So for those who frequent Sandton, the southern part of West Street will be turned into a cycle and walking lane with limited access to eco-mobility vehicles and workers who need access. For most roads, which include Alice, Maud, Stella and Gwen Lane, access will only be given to drivers who work in the area.